Quick question for ya. Are you the bird or are you the worm?
Vámonos, Stevie.
This admittedly silly line of inquiry is derived from the common phrase, the early bird gets the worm. And it's one my friends and I have been parroting for weeks now. It originated one late night in VC when my degenerate, gotcha slop suckling homie was getting homework done at 2:43 in the AM. I asked his bum ass why he decided to wait so late to finish his assignment. And he defended himself with the retort, well, if you think about it, it's morning right now, and the early bird gets the worm. I promptly replied with, motherfucker, you are the worm. The phrase has been lodged in our vernacular ever since, because it encompasses such a universal idea in life. Are you getting, or are you getting got? And that can be applied to so many mindsets, situations, and people. If you're more driven, focused, and prone to accomplishing your goals in a timely manner, you're the bird. If you're lazy, unmotivated, unemployed, find it hard to get anything done, spend most of your day gaming, watching anime, or being a stinky, dripless, bitchless, brain-rotted, TikTok scrolling, feces-eating plague on society, or just your average solo leveling fan, I hate to break it to ya, but you're the worm, little bro. Some people lean more one way or the other, but most of us are some combination of the bird and the worm. Shit, I bet for most of you, it's a damn coin flip depending on the day. As I've been studying this newly coined bird-worm mentality theorem, I've come to a bit of a hypothesis. No matter where you lie on this spectrum, there's nothing more fascinating than watching someone be the bird. Not to jump scare you with the J-slur, but even the most unemployed of us get a little kick out of watching someone get the job done. Roll their sleeves up, tighten their bootstraps, and get down to brass tacks on a task they're uniquely suited to. And I came to this realization while watching an episode of the Apothecary Diaries.
Brother, un video más, Hibi. Uno más. Un video más, Hibi.
Believe it or not, this series chronicles the adventures of an apothecary, Maomao. She specializes in herbs, remedies, and all sorts of medicinal doohickeys. In this particular scenario, she's pulled into a room where a drunken man has passed out in the midst of laying some pipe on a hooker. And much like any time booze and hookers are involved, something beautiful happens. Maomao steps into the room, surveys the scene, assesses the damages, and immediately just jumps to work. She barely skips a beat. A quick slap on the cheeks, a thump on the rump, and she's knee-deep in that bitch, no pun intended. I love the way you watch her apothecary brain activate. You can visibly see her piecing things together. Her mind processes sights and smells, then breaks down that information into actions her hands can execute, and that's ridiculously fun to watch. The show does a fantastic job of explaining her logic to the audience while somehow keeping it entertaining. I don't give a flying fuck about poisons or medicines. The only herbs I can get behind are ganja, fent, and crack. But every time Maomao's breaking down exactly what substance has a dude stumbling, sloshing, and slobbering all over the place, I'm seated like, yes queen, you are the mama bird. Listen and learn, a woman is speaking, because she's so goddamn good at it. There's something so authentic and nurtured about her abilities. She never feels like a Mary Sue, but instead like a real expert with a real, wonderfully autistic ass brain, who spent a considerable portion of their life accruing obscure nuggets of info, life hacks, tips, tricks, and niche techs, bits and bobs of knowledge that manifest as experience. And I find that mental aptitude so appealing despite the fact that I'm lazy as fuck. I don't like working at all. On some hashtag Wormtivities, I collect my minimum wage as a barista. That's the easiest job in the world. E-girls, OnlyFans models work harder than me. Asmongold's bitch ass works harder than me. Every time I turn up for a shift, I tell my manager if it's too clean, so I won't be making any drinks today. Plop down at the register and drool, mentally fart in my pants till it's time to clock out. But watching Maomao put her all into doing the best work she can damn near makes me want to become employee of the month. It doesn't matter if you're one with the soil or already charting your own flight pass. Getting to watch someone who excels at a task, craft, or occupation both perform that duty and discuss what's going through their head as they work is a premise so entertaining you could stake a whole franchise on it. And plenty of my favorite series do just that. Blue Period and Bakuman are two particularly interesting examples to me since they break down the art of well shit, art. Wow. Blue Period showcases the more traditional route, you know? Sketching, painting, the psychological ninth circle of hell that is art school. It's incredible how much can be extrapolated from just one brush on the canvas. An early part of the series has the main character tasked with painting a still life of an antelope skull. He's been feeling immense pressure when it comes to recent events. events. He's not sure if his art is on par with his peers, but he contends with that by deciding to have fun again. You watch as he strips back the ego, the expectations. You watch the excitement thicken behind his eyes as he pours nothing but glee into expressing himself with his piece. That's real as hell. I admire that. Like a stain on a car window. That is real busy bird shit. Bakuman, on the other hand, is meta as hell because it's about creating manga. Oh shucks, I already did that. It's obviously a medium I have a lot of love for. So seeing every step of the process, from storyboarding to a rough draft to inking to color and print, it gets all 3 quadrants of my neurons firing, especially when it's portrayed with the psychological depth and artistic style of the authors of fucking Death Note. My favorite sequences are hands down whenever they birth the series for the first time. There's something so pure, so energizing about the precipice of a creative idea entering the world. How can I not be enthralled? Both Blue Period and Bakuman also featured great plots and characters in their own right, but I don't think I'd like them as much if they weren't so good at conveying the unique relationship between a person and the pen. I have a similar feeling about Your Lie in April or Bocchi the Rock. I'm a music savant. I came out the womb with WH-1000 XM4s on, an IM Music fitted crop tee, and Beethoven's clef note tatted on my bicep. And the way creating music is portrayed, from nothing more than a feeling, an auditory vibe, to this elaborate weaving of syncopation and rhythm, of sounds and melodies. These stellar tunes got me swaying my hips, rocking my body, and yelling, "Swamp! Izzo!" Oshinoko is reportedly about coochie cuddling your sister, but I'll always cherish the first 2 seasons for their nuanced look into acting and the entertainment industry at large. All the internal and external conditions that a performer has to consider to translate their lived experience into a character's headspace. That scene where Kana recalls her childhood heartache, where she dredges up the crippling insecurity she's dealt with her entire life in order to produce an authentic stream of tears and a look of relief, is indicative of how any artist filters himself into the work. A Place Further Than the Universe is about teenage girls traveling to Antarctica. I have no business liking this series as much as I do. This is Ibi.mp4, not Ibi reviews, and yet I can't get enough of it. There's a whole episode about goddamn travel restrictions, but that glimpse into the reality of embarking on a voyage like this, the planning, the determination needed to legitimately travel to the end of the known world, it's got me posted up like me and the gals. What's good, bestie? Baddie, shot a clock. Baddie, shot a clock. The best moments in any sports series to me are when they explain how the game works. Brother, I'm unathletic as shit. Everything I know about sports is picked up from mimicking the homies, so I can get by in conversation with Caucasian fathers and parlay patriots. The only time I consider proper methods for ball handling is when it's time to slam some yaoi or LeBrons on screen. And yet seeing Hinata or Gearless Joe consider the ramifications of a slight pivot to the step, a slight flick of the wrist, seeing Ice Shield 21 motherfuckers account for terrain and weather conditions, the Slam Dunk crew account for outside pressures and mental conflicts, or those Blue Lock boys play a game of soccer with their lives on the line. That's what really grounds their ridiculous physical feats for me. In a similar way, ridiculous artistic feats are grounded by seeing the seams a bit. Even outside the realm of fiction, I'm an absolute sucker for artist interviews and exposés. That Ryan Coogler 15 perfs video targeted my timeline like Ronald Reagan targeted low-income neighborhoods. I get an insane amount of drive from watching behind the scenes of my favorite artist of any variety, but especially my peers. I've had the privilege of kicking it with, and mostly annoying the shit out of, a lot of cool people in the space recently. Fuck a bird, a lot of them are damn near flying saucers, and getting to see their work in progress makes me feel like I can ride their wins a bit. Chicken jockey, bitch! Seeing regular ass people accomplish these beautiful things, from the mundane to the masterful, it gives me hope that even a worm can crawl into a cocoon, crystallize, and come out squawking. But regular people can kick rocks for just a spell. What's got me bugging out the tackle box is that this even applies to fictional occupations. I've spent a good amount of time gushing about Frieren and Dungeon Meshi already, but I've neglected to highlight how thoughtful they are when it comes to grounding the fake-ass pseudo-magic peddling jobs and pastimes they feature in a way that feels so genuine. It's my favorite thing ever, Frieren portraying magecraft as a hobby you can get excited about, as something you can catalog and collect like vinyls or Pokemon cards or archived Japanese denim. It gives its world such an enchanting texture. Dungeon Meshi portraying eating creatures as its own discipline that combines factual culinary techniques with the whimsy fantasy allows, lets its particular flavor of storytelling simmer nicely on my palate. Series like Soul Eater, Fullmetal Alchemist, Hunter x Hunter, Naruto, they have this tangibility to their power systems and occupations. You really get a sense of how someone in those roles might operate. The curiosity, or batshit cognitive shenaniganery, that leads someone into those lines of work. It helps demystify them a bit, and helps me relate those lofty goals, that insatiable hunger, that work ethic, to my own life. This is a great tool for authors because it oftentimes doubles as world building, but so much care is put into the procedure, into how these jobs would actually function. It doesn't matter how abstract the task at hand is, because there's a certain familiar feeling that comes from seeing someone flowing. We can all conceptualize locking the fuck in. Dog, I'ma keep it a $1.50. Shit's not always easy. I've been bogged down by school, the work, trying to prepare myself to enter the actual workforce, and the fact that being unk is lame as hell. Everything's trying to cramp my damn style. Lord forbid a white boy catch a vibe. It's hard to find time for things I really want to do, people I really want to be with, and it's impossible to not occasionally feel like I'm behind. I'm not always great at getting shit done, and that fucks with me. Often, I'm convinced I'll be a worm forever. Much of my time on this earth has been spent burrowing through the dirt. It's like God has cursed me for the sin of having too much swag, relegating me to crawl on my belly and eat dust for as long as I live. But when I see Maomao trapping out the bando, when the Bakuman duos flipping ink and paper into straight paper, when I see Bochi strumming a nifty new tune, or my Antarctica girlies make their first boot prints in the morning snow, when a director I respect is gushing about aspect ratios, or my colleagues lay some heat on the timeline, when I see the Blue Lock guys salivating over some balls, Freerin cherishing the latest trinket in her collection, or Lyle's chopping up some fresh grilled fiddlesticks for the gang, when I get to see the work of humans I admire, both real and fictional, it makes me want to call God a little bitch, hop off the porch, and get back in the lab and continue giving each day the best I got. The gentle breeze of others' productivity spurs me forward. I'm deeply inspired by seeing people do what they love, and I'm hoping that inspiration will someday cause me to sprout wings and take flight. Is that just an excuse for me to continue sitting on my ass and watching anime? Most definitely. But damn it, man, when I look up like this, the sky seems that much closer. Hey, my fellow bird of a feather, thanks for taking this time to spread your wings with me. If this puts some wind in your sails, consider liking, subscribing, dropping a tweet little comment, following the Twitter, the gram, or roosting with the rest of the avian flock over on the Patreon. Now that's a bunch of birds over there. I couldn't fly this high without them. I have no idea what this video is. I wrote this manic as fuck one day after winning too much at life and bumping too much Brazilian bossa nova, but it came so easy to me, it seemed like a good sign to produce it. I also wanted to bring the whimsical crackhead cousin energy back in spades after being so brooding, mysterious, and nonchalant last video, so I hope it was enjoyable. Go watch the last video if you missed it, by the way. It's some of my best work. I meant what I said. You're all birds in my heart, and I pray the day is treating you well. I must bid you adieu. It's back to fit checks at the local matcha cafe for me. Keep your chin up, don't mind the rain, and remember the sky is your domain. And as is customary around these parts, have yourselves a damn good one. The fuck am I doing?